Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lilu nishmasi mimi rosi rusmas Mordechai. We might have to start the whole thing over again. We are going to insert the video with the kids.
Lamed Daled Amud Beis. Boker Tov Rabbi Isai. לרפואת אוראל יצחק בן אורטל.
We're going to insert the video with Mark Ashkenazi.
Rebelli, you're not going to believe what I found. I'm about 15 or so minutes north of Muncie. Freezing cold matziv. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm walking into, and look what's going on every single night. Look what's going on. Look at this.
So, if you, what's going on today, Sandy? Left standing, right? If you, okay, anyway, there's a big thing in trying to say the Torah, and then we're going to insert the video with David Salmon.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai, especially Miami Beach. You guys are looking at me. What happened to this guy? Like Rabbi said, Meshuggah, he's taking a video. What is he doing? He has the best product out there, and it's an easy sale. I love sales. So you ask me what I do. I bring people closer to God. That's what I do in the shear. If I didn't try it myself, I already have 2 chavrusis a day. I added this one on. It's a complete game changer. If you haven't opened up a Gemara, or if you want to add one to your schedule, I'm not getting paid for this. I am not getting paid for this. The only benefit I have is after 120. Hopefully it comes out in this world as well. But it's life-changing. The guy was in a car accident. I texted him yesterday, come to the shear. He says, no. He says, I'm coming. I give him a ride home. He says, David, this gave me life. And you don't have to go into a car accident to feel like it gives you life. If you look at the videos, you have people in their 70s, balabatim, you have 20, 30-year-olds. They come back for a reason. Why do they come back? Because they feel connected to the shit. And sometimes in this generation, it's hard for us. It's hard for a lot of people just to sit and grind through the Gemara. They don't understand it. They feel like, oh, I did it. I don't understand it. I don't have the twice. But you try this year. He spends 14 hours a day with Eli to get this year hand delivered to you so you can enjoy it. And once you open up the Gemara, once you do yours, so you show up to the gym, you do yours. You start with the first step when you go running. The rest, leave it up to God. Show up, sit through it, and you'll be coming back hungry for more. Again, I'm not getting paid for this. I can just go on with my day and do what I do, and I don't even get involved with this. I'm getting involved with this because I've seen firsthand how it changes people's lives from all walks of life. You spend 60 minutes scrolling anyways. Why don't you just come down, get a great meal, watch a good show with amazing camera, one day at a time, and before you know it, you finish us. But take it one day at a time, because if you start looking at it, I'm going to have to do this forever. That's how the Yitzhak gets you. So take it one baby step at a time, and you'll see, wow, I come into Shabbos, every night I went. You feel like a man, you feel like a person. What are you going to do instead? Go to the restaurant, eat another 2-pound steak? Come to me, we'll get you the 2-pound steak instead. Win this year. So, Rabbi Isai, come out tonight, 8 p.m., smash house, on the house, have an amazing day.
And then we're going to go and say this daf is sponsored by Anonymous Latzlocha B'chol Yonim, and by Power Events, IYKYK. If you know, you know. MDY Daf at Thrive Chicago, March 16th and 17th. The weekly sponsors, Daniel Yeager, in honor of the wedding of Danny and Gitti Yeager. Official edition of MDY Shas Masechta by the Iranian Levy family's Perik Anonymous. Lili Nishma Zachariah Ben Moshe. Masechta sponsor, David Salomon. Dedicated memory of Avi Merib Shmuel Borg Berb Chaim Tzvi Doiz Chron Vracha. Masechta sponsors, Joel Gedalis, Lili Nishma, my father, Jack Gedalis. Anonymous. Haslacha Baruch Nizabagashmi is the Palchik family foundation. The Zech Nishma Rav Goyim Shlomi Palchik. The Metchetzer Eloi. Anonymous, Rav Shlomo Moshe ben Izah. Anonymous, for complete Rav Shlomo and Arichas Yom Talei Bas Esther Yisrael Malki. Tell Taras Pichom Alpi Zav Chesed. We're so proud of you. Yaakov Mordechai keeps steiging. Send the Gross family. Can be Ariel UK and honor rebel. You changed my meaning of life. Plenty of money. Yossi, Mark, and Benny, and all the Iskim and Tzorchi and the wife. Baruch Yishalom Scharim. Monthly sponsors: Ari Simon, Rav Shlomo, Avi Mori, Baruch Ben Miriam, Jamie Azulai, Rav Shlomo, Esther Basluna, Moshe Aaron, Miriam Landi, Hoyd Lashem Kitoy, Kilo Elam Chazdoi. Monthly sponsors Anonymous. This schos of birth that's good and open and revealed way for Yosef Mordechai ben Bati Leo Mate. Yehuda and Yehuda Lewis as a schos for everyone in need of a shidduch. Amen. Anonymous for the merit of Michal Ben Yisrael Yosef, success and blessing in all areas of life. By spritzing out growth and Nishma Shalom Zalman Ben Yitzchak Isaac, in Yomanizing with Tzvir Shachayin, for Shlomo Yonatan Eitam Ben Bracha. Anonymous for the merit of Rav Shlomo from Malka Bas Chaya, Centers.com helping get in Davin Mitzibur with pop-up in Yonim anywhere worldwide. The Nishma Chaim Shalom Ben Betzalel. And the way art. The month, Rav Shlomo Yonatan Eitam Ben Bracha, Amen. Rav Shlomo Mordechai Ben Esther, Rav Ayel Daniel Zev Ben Ayel Esther. Rabbi Zai, we have a Moiridik Daf today. Half of it is a Gadata, Lamed Aleph from the base, from the top. And the other half is a bunch of sugyas. We're going to take a wild ride through Shas, from sugya to sugya. One sugya is more geschmack than the next. To remind Ariel that yesterday, we said, smack in the middle of Lamed Amud Beis, Omar Ravim Bachin and Omar Ula, Omar Rabbi Chanina. Say in the name of Rabbi Chanina, that the halach is like Rabbi Shimon Shizuri, and the halach is like Rabbi Shimon Shizuri everywhere. And the Gemara asked, what do you mean? Where's the halach like Rabbi Shimon? So we try to say that maybe it means our sugya, that when you forget Hashem's name, and you could write it on top, you could like insert Hashem's name after it's all written in between the lines. But Reb Shimon Shizuri says that you're not allowed to do somewhat on top and somewhat, like it has to be nice on top. It has to be nice and even in between the lines. It can't start from the bottom and crawl its way up. No, that can't be it, because that Rabbi Yochanan says the halach is you could do that like Reb Shimon Shizuri, and it doesn't say that Reb Chanina says that. How come it doesn't say Reb Chanina? It should go over there. Together with Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says that Allah Rabbi Shimon Shizuri. Rabbi Chanina also says so. So now we're going to try different things, and each one that we try is another beautiful sugya. It's 8-10 lines each sugya. We're holding Elaha. So this is like in Gittin. Somebody that's being walked away to his death sentence. And he screams out, "Kisvu get liishti." Now, what he's supposed to say, Kisvu get liishti, write a get to my wife, utnu, and give it to her. But he forgot to say utnu. Now, we assume that he has other things he's thinking about. Why does he want to do this? Because they don't have children. And if he dies, and he will die at any moment, his wife will have to be misyabim to that brother-in-law that she doesn't really like very much. And he might be in another country, who knows? Whatever. He doesn't want her to have to marry that Meshugana brother-in-law. So what he does is he gives her a get right before he dies. But he forgot to say no. So the halach is, Harei elu yichtivu v'yitnu. You could give, we understand what he wanted. He wanted it actually to be given. Chazru loymar, and then they came back and they said another halacha. Af ha'mefarish v'yotz b'shiar. Even somebody who goes out on some sort of cruise, or he goes into the desert, very dangerous, and he said, and he told somebody, kisvu, you give it also. Now here comes Reb Shimon Shizuri. Maybe this is what we meant. Allah is like him. Reb Shimon Shizuri, afa mesukan. Even somebody who's sick, they go into it. Is he sakana? Is he shchimera? Okay. The point is that we understand that he's sick, he's dying, and he wants his wife to be divorced. Inami, or perhaps it's another halacha. Trumas meiser shel d'mai shechazur l'mkoyim el Rabbi said this is very, very gishmak, because we have two beautiful videos here that are new to the sugya. What is Trumas meiser? Here we go, brand new for today. A person picks, let's say, 100 apples off the tree. How's the audio, Gary? You good? So from 100 apples, he has to take 2, usually. It could even be a mashu, he takes 2, and he gives it to the Shpachas Koyim. Then he has to take 10% what's left over, let's call it 10, really 9.8, and he gives it to a Levi. That's Meiser Rishon. That's the first Meiser. The Levi takes 10% of what he just received, which is one apple, and he gives it to the Kohen. That's Trumas Meiser we just gave him. Okay? Trumas Meiser. Now, we got one more. Here. Trumas Meiser Shel Demai. So let me explain. Demai is Mai. What is this? Typically speaking, an Amaritz would take, he's mafresh Truma. We know that Amaratzim, they take the Truma. Why? It's 1%. It's a mashu. It's nothing. So they don't care. 10%, it's Misa. 10% is already a different story. To give Meiser from your money, not everybody gives Meiser today. Not everybody gave Meiser back then. So, Chacham said, although most do, Roiv do take Meiser, we have to be careful and we have to assume they didn't. And you should take Meiser again. Okay. Now, what happened was, this guy, he, as you saw in the video, he went and he took Trumas Meiser, he gave it to the Levi. Now, he really didn't have to because the Amoretz probably was mafresh himself before he sold it. On Shabbos, if you have a problem on Shabbos, like what happened over here is that it all got mixed in together, it fell, what you were mafresh fell back into the pile. Now you don't know what's Truma, what's not. So on Shabbos, you cannot take Trumas and Meisers on Shabbos. So what do? We allow you to go to the Amoretz, knock on his door, and ask him, hey, did you take Trumas and Meisers? And if he says yes, for Shabbos we believe him. Okay? We're lenient on our gzera. We made a gzera that you have to take extra Meiser, but it's Shabbos, you know what, you're not going to eat now? You can't fix it on Shabbos. Ask him, and we trust him. Maybe after Shabbos you have to go ahead and redo it. So Reb Shimon Shizuri says, let's do the same exact thing on a weekday. Since we have a situation here, and there's a large loss, because all your fruit got mixed in, go to the Amaretz and ask him on a Wednesday afternoon, ask him, hey, did you take Trumas and Meisers? And if he says yes, we'll let you go this time. Take a look at this, it's in a video, beautiful stuff. Meiser Shel Demai, putting the Meiser in his bag. Meiser Shel Demai, it says in the bag, okay.
Tell me, the apples you sold me, you took my Sarah, right?
Sure. I Meisered everything.
All right. Great. I Meisered everything. Even on a weekday, you go ask the Amoretz, and you could eat it based on what he tells you. And on that, we're going to have the same question we had before. Rabbi Yochanan comes along and says, a guy that's about to die, he's sick, and he says to get this to his wife. And if Rav Chanina said the halach is like Rav Shimon Shizuri, on this case, how come it's not mentioned that Rav Chanina also said the halach is like Rav Shimon Shizuri? It only says Rabbi Yochanan says the halach is like Rav Shimon Shizuri. So now we're going to the next case. Rabbi says, I'm telling you, it's geschmack. Rabbi Yochanan keep Omer Mishum Rav Shimon Shizuri. Poila mitzri shizroi lezera. You have a certain bean called a poil. What is it called in English? I don't even know. Who? Fool. The way it works is, when it comes to vegetables, so any vegetable that was picked in a certain year, let's say Tafshin Pei Hey, you take Trumas and Meisers from the produce of Tafshin Pei Hey. If it was picked on Tafshin Pei Vav, the cutoff date is Rosh Hashanah. So if you pick the fruit, a bunch of tomatoes Erev Rosh Hashanah, and then from the same farm, same field, you picked tomatoes after Rosh Hashanah, you cannot use these tomatoes to the meiser and the other. Okay, I threw in tomatoes. Yerakos, I got it. You understand what I'm talking about. So when it comes to beans don't go by when you pick it, they go by when they take root. It's a little bit of a mistake, I think, in this video. Yoshi worked really late. I think it's like to 1 o'clock in the morning to make this particular video. The Israelis didn't get to see it. I think there's a little bit of a mistake in terms of it doesn't show the rooting. It shows when he picked it. But the point is the same, basically. I don't want people to get confused. So I'm prefacing. There's a mistake in the video, I think. But what he's trying to show is that there was meiser that was supposed to be taken in Tafshin Pei Hey and Tafshin Pei Vav, and they got mixed together. So what do you do when they get mixed together? That's the question. So, Ein Tarmim Zalzeh. You cannot take meiser from one year to the other. You can't take from the new to the old. What should you do? You take all the fruit from the 2 years, you put them in like a cement truck, like a mixer. You mix it all up very, very good, so it's not evenly mixed. Interesting halacha. We assume that when you grab 10 apples, 5 of them are going to be Tafshin Pei Hey, the other 5 are going to be Tafshin Pei Vav, and then it's a good meiser. And on that they said, Omer Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachmani, Omer Rabbi Yochanan, halach Rabbi Shimon the halach is like Rabbi Shimon. If it's true that Rabbi Chanina said that halach is Rabbi Shimon on this particular case, Hunami Leiba, how come he's not featured over there? Here, Rabbi says, here's the Poila Mitzri. It's supposed to be Ashrasha because it's kidney. Okay, you get the idea. We're already showing the Lakita. The cutoff date is. This would be good for regular vegetables. It would be perfect. These are the beans, the coils. No, it's mixed. It's mixed. It got mixed in here. It's all mixed. Tafshin Pei and Tafshin Pei Vav is one giant pile now.
He's asking why. Why do you have to do that?
You don't have to. It happened. It happened. It happened. It happened. The Samaras with the green cap didn't know. He mixed them together, and then they said you can't take mice from one year to the other. What? No. Then afterwards, once it's mixed, then you mix it well. Then you put it into the cement truck. If you know, you know. We're talking about if you don't know. IYKYK chveis was.
IYK.
So.
YK.
Oh. Huh? In the Ashrasha, they didn't know. Okay. Or if they knew it, they didn't know. But kids, sir, it got mixed. There was something they didn't know. Brand new halacha. Brand new. Ashida. We're talking about a box. We're talking about a closet. Rav Nachman ready to go, Amar. Ayayin. Oh, I have one just for Ari Simon. And if he doesn't know the answer, no, fix, and Rav Nachman could jump in. Or, I'll let Rabbi Spiegel. What does a grape say when you step on it?
A little wine.
Oh.
I would stop whining.
Rabbi Omar Ashida. Oh, so is it either the halach is on wine or on a box? This not. Hashido Beishamai Oimrim Nimdedes Mibifnim Rabboisai. I don't know if you paid attention, but we did 30 daf in Menachos. Hashido Beishamai Oimrim Nimdedes Mibifnim. This is Givaldic. When I said it last night, the oilam lit up. I guess you guys also. How do you measure a house for taxes, Arnona, here in Israel? From the outside of the building or the inside? Outside. So we have a machlokes here. Do you measure from the outside or inside? Some cities here in Eretz Yisrael measure from the inside, not ours. I don't know how they do it in America, probably from the outside. Anyway, when you have a large box. You have a giant box. A shida is like, Rashi says sometimes the shida means this, like a wagon. It's a box wagon. Here, Yoshi was just having fun, I guess. But let's say it's this, okay? It's a giant box. So it is not mikabel tuma if it has a certain size. If it's the size of a mikveh, 40 saw. You take it, you put it into a large body of water. You see how much water displaces. V'chulu v'chulu. Okay, but you have to measure it. How you measure it, that's up to you. Now, what do you measure? Do you measure from the outside of the box? You take a tape measure that it's 40 saw from the outside or 40 saw from the inside. So there's a Geshmak Ma'isa. I looked it up. ChatGPT is masking there was such a story that in Mashhad, Iran, the ruler said that the Jews must bring him a giant box that's like a meter by a meter, full of gold. That's an impossible thing to do, and if not, there'll be tremendous consequences. Just thought about this. The rabbi, they came up with the eitzah. They come in with this giant box, a meter by a meter. They tell the security, they said, we have the gold for the ruler. We don't want anybody. Pat him down. No weapons. Okay, go in. You go into the ruler. He opens up the box, and what he sees is a thick box. The walls were like this thick, and in the center was this much room, and there was a piece of gold in there. He says, "You asked us for a box. You didn't tell us how big the box was inside, the dimensions. We found a box that it filled up all the dimensions." And the ruler enjoyed the chap. He did. He enjoyed the chap, and they didn't want to embarrass the ruler in front of the others. So he said, "We don't only want to show it to him," and he let him go. So you have the inside and the outside. So now, umoidim elu ve'elu shein oivei raglayim ve'oivei halevizbizin nimdod. Mendy said in Koil yesterday that we have a mazel that levizbizin is not in the hadron. Imagine all these first-time guys. Rami Bar Papa, Nachman Bar Papa, alevizbizin. The Baalma Iskadal Iska Baalma do Asalis Chadas Messiah Chachaya. Yeah, the business in Imdad. What's the business? It's like crown molding. See, there is little crown molding right over here. You need 40 saw. The feet on the bottom. Here we go. The feet on the bottom, the legs of this thing, are not included in the shear. The crown molding is crown molding, not included. Nimdod. It is included. But in between, as you see here in this depiction, where it's red, the red area, there's no leg, there's no wood, it's not included. But the actual foot of this box is included in the 40 saw that reduces and says this is not Mikabel Tuma. It's too large to be Mikabel Tuma. Once they're tevach high, then you don't measure everything in between. Okay, so this is the halacha that we say the halacha is like Rav Shimon Shizuri. The halacha is on wine. So real quickly, this is Aleph Beis in Tum and Tahara, but it's kedai to review. The way Tum and Tahara usually works is that it starts, whatever level it starts, when that tumah touches something else, it drops one level. So Avi Avos HaTumah, the highest level of tumah is a dead person. If it touches somebody else, boom, that human being that touches becomes, instead of Avi Avos, becomes an Av. Avatuma. So let's say an Avatuma, like a Sheretz, touches a vessel, it drops one level and becomes a Rishon. Let's say a Rishon touches something else, food, it becomes a Sheni, etc., etc. So every time it touches, it drops one level. Chacham made an exception to the rule, and that is liquids. Liquids, when they become tamei, no matter what, even if a sheni, let's say somebody, a tvul yoim, he's considered, let's say, a sheni, he touches liquid, it jumps upwards, it becomes worse than him. It'll go from a shlishi, instead of being a shlishi, it'll become a rishon. You see, right over here, this yellow arrow. It's a special halacha that liquids always are a rishon, even if they touch the dead person, they go to a rishon. Even if they touch a shlishi, they go to a rishon. They're always a rishon. So What is a liquid? Is liquid water? Is liquid wine? Is it liquid honey? So let's see. It's not. That what? It's not. It says in the Mishnah, Rebbe Meir, Oimer, Shemen, Tchila Lo'ilam. Oil is also a liquid, and it's always, Tchila means a Rishon. It's always a Rishon. Even honey is a Rishon, becomes a Rishon. Rebbe Shimon Shizuri Oimer, Afayayin, even wine. Wait a minute, this is problematic. That's impossible. To say that wine is not a liquid? Ema? Rav Shimon Shizuri Yayin. Rav Shimon Shizuri comes and says, you know what? The only interesting kind of thing other than water is liquid. Only wine. Meaning, he's saying, honey and oil are not considered. And Taisus has a bomb question. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's one of the Sheva Mashkim. How could anybody argue on oil and honey? They're all part. So that's why Taisus goes to another pshat. We're talking about solids, like wine that congealed or, different. Okay, fine. But we go with Rashi. As a side note, because Rameir Shapir, they say, when he was interviewing Bachram, he had a guy that interviewed Bachram, and he would give them either Menachos Daf Lamed Aleph, which is our daf right now. That's why I'm saying the story. I never really confirmed the story, so it's an interesting story. Either give them Lamed Aleph or Psachim Daf Yud Aleph. And basically, the Bachram that got Menachos Lamed Aleph were the Bachram that he rejected in his mind. He figured they're not good for the yeshiva, and he would give it to the Bachram and say, go take these guys, Menachos Lamed Aleph. And he explained once that Menachos Lamed Aleph stands for Loi, and Psachim Daf Yud Aleph stands for Yah. You spoke Yiddish then. Okay, I just thought it has to do with our daf today. Menachos Lamed Aleph. This is the daf.
By heart to get into that yeshiva.
That's what they said, yeah. So the guy only knew 290, he gets Menachos Lamed Aleph. If you didn't know you're 300, Menachos Lamed Aleph. You're rejected. Okay, Tanya. Omar Reb Shimon Shizuri, another one. Another 8-liner. One time, chulin is referring to fruit that already you took meiser and everything is good. It's chulin, it's ready to eat. Tevel means, according to Rashi, it's tevel like gomer. It's like complete tevel. These are fruit that never had trumas and meisers. And one time they got mixed up. And I came and I asked Rabbi Tarfon, and he said, go buy fruit from an Amoritz. Because an Amoritz is fruit, basically the reason why you have to take meiser from it is because it's a gzera for Chachamim. It really doesn't need it. So your fruit also really doesn't need it. Because it's batal b'roiv. But we made a takana that it does need it. So we'll go take fruit that doesn't need to be meisered and use it to do meiser of fruit that doesn't need to take meiser from. It's potter and a potter. Because over the raisa baruba bottle, the fruit that your 4 apples that fell into 100, that they're okay. You could eat them. I told you to go buy from an amoritz because most of them do take meiser. Okay, here's the video. Only a guy that never went scuba diving can make a video like this. An octopus in fresh water, whatever. It's a good shaila. I don't think they have such a thing. I don't know. This is Givaldi explaining to him exactly from the halacha, from Tarfin.
Excuse me, sir?
So he takes from the Amoritz. I don't know what he just did. He's taking meiser. He didn't put it back in. He just takes meiser and he uses it for his mixed up stuff. Ask the Gemara of I have a greater idea, a better, easier. Go buy from a non-Jew. If you buy from the non-Jew, then his produce is potter from Trumas HaMaisros, and you just use that produce on the fruit that you don't know what to do with. Interesting Shiloh. You hear this? Meiser Shahaya, a guy lost an extremely expensive watch, like a Rolex Chveisvas, one of those watches that they raffle off now, You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So, if you know. And
Come comes in handy, this line.
So,
I
YK. We could just say, Ayake, whatever. So,
East Miyaki.
the guy, all of a sudden, he puts up signs everywhere. He says, Hashem Saved, I lost my crazy watch. It's very dead. A guy calls him up with a very heavy accent from Gaza. And he says, I have your watch. The thing is that, it's a tircha for me to come give it back to you. Give me $2,000. So the guy says, no problem, $2,000. He makes the cheshbon. So the guy comes, one of our, cousins, shows up with the watch. He says, let me take a look at it. He looks at it. He turns around, he runs. He bolts out of there. He doesn't give him the $2,000. He comes back to the koilel, all excited. He says, you know what I did? I played a good one on this guy. So the guy said, whoa, slow down. Gezelakum is also. And there's no Hashem Saveda by the guy. You were Miyayish already. And the kitzur, so it became a whole thing. He said, I was never Miyayish. I never gave up on it. I knew it. They put up the signs. It wasn't Miyayish. Besides, a guy does have a chiv Shabbos. Then they said in Eretz Yisrael, there's a law that if something's expensive, you have to give it back. So the Din Malchusa also there's a chiv. It's not about him keeping, but you could run away from him. Since he's mechuyev, he has the chiyuv, so you don't have to pay him. And then there was another one I can't say on YouTube that Shas Mulchama. There's different halachas that apply in this case. Okay. No. But Shas Mulchama, what is Shas? He's a oyev. He's a soina. Okay, fine. Weiter. I just thought it's interesting. Kachman agoy. So he says, a guy doesn't have the right to have property here and to undo the meiser. And since he's mechuyev in meiser, so you can't buy from a guy because his fruit has a chiyuv of meiser. Some say the story the opposite. His initial response was, don't take from the Amorites. Go buy from the guy. Why? Because the guy is potter. Because he held that a guy has the right to own property here and to undo the meiser. A guy, if he has produce, he doesn't have to give the meiser. And that's why it's a great idea to buy from the guy because he's potter. But you'll do a chumrah, take meiser from that on the fruit that's in your little boat that's also potter. Ask the Gemara. Now we're asking the reverse one. I can even say buy from an Amoritz. He's also potter. Oh no, because he holds that you don't have a roiv, you don't have 51% of Amaratz and take meiser. Let's say it's even 50%. So there's a chiv d'oraisa to take meiser when you buy from Amaretz. So it's not going to help you. Oh, okay. So basically we're done with all these sugyas, and now we're going to the Agata. Guess. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Oh, bro. Shalom Aleichem from. Shalom Aleichem. Busy ice there. You were here already. 6 months already.
Haifa brother.
Oh, that's right, Haifa brother. What's your names?
Chaim Katz.
From?
Lakewood, New Jersey.
Shalom Aleichem. This is your son?
Leiba Katz.
Leiba Katz.
And shout out to my son Baruch, who's watching it live now. Who does Daf Yomi.
He does Daf Yomi.
I don't do. But I'm here representing him.
Yivaldi. Very proud of him. Very proud of him. Be'ez Hashem will be able to convince his father to go on the right derech. No, you go. I know you go to a different shir. You have different limud. Okay. Be'ez Hashem. Be'ez Hashem. What's your name? From?
Dallas.
Dallas? No way. That's your father? Wow. What a schos. Pshee. You know that, okay, I shouldn't say this. I'll tell you after shir. You're sitting on a seat, kind of. He gave up a seat to give it to you. Unbelievable. Father's son. Wow. Unbelievable. Yivali, thanks for coming. Who else? Anybody else want to say Shalom Aleichem? No. Okay, great. Oh yeah, Shalom Aleichem. You all the way at the end. What's your name? From? Hugh Gardens. We had a guy. I missed the guy yesterday. I said Shalom Aleichem to him. He says, I've been with you since Brachas, Mamish in the beginning. I said, so you coming on the cruise? He said, no, because I started like Lamed. No, you could come on the cruise, Daf Lamed. But Mamish, he said, he hasn't missed a single Daf. What was his name? White Plains. Some people just have a gift. All right, Zog the Gemara, here we go. Easy stuff. I got it. Sholach le Rav Yemer bar Shlemi le Rav Papa Hodo Amar Ravim bar Chinin Amar Ula Amar. I love this. This is gewaldig. Ha Omar Rav Bar Chinan Omar Ula Omar Reb Chanina Aloch Reb Shimon Shizuri Reb Shimon Shizuri. This thing that he said that Allah was like below Yoidel Kamak Shishon Reb Shimon Shizuri Aloch Gemaisa, and he said also that Allah was like him everywhere. Freebies. Wow, it's 5 lines of freebies. Is it Is it even in this case that we just said that all the apples got mixed in a boat and you go and you buy from Amaret? Omar Le'in. Yes. Omar Rashi, I don't understand why you asked the question. When he says that Allah is like Reb Shimon Shizuri everywhere, it's everywhere, including this question that's in a brisa. Omar Le Mar Zutra Koshi Be Reb Chanina Misura. He asked me a question. Pshita. Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Beis. Mika Omar b'Mishnah. Did he say that Allah is like Reb Shimon Shizuri only in the Mishnayos? Kol Makish Shana Kol. He said everywhere, even in the case, in this Tevel case. Great. Turning to the Daf at our global, we're one-stop shop for all your financial needs. Isaac Castle, in honor of all them, the white daughters in South Florida, we shall all be Zoicha. Matzliach Baruch Nisu V'Gashmis, anonymous in memory of Moshe ben Peretz for Siyard side Chav Zayin Shvat. Omer Rav Zeiro, Omer Rav Chananel, Omer Rav. Kera Abob, and we're back to Sefer Torah, Rabbi say. Kera Abob Shnei Shitin Yitfar. Take a look, everything's beautiful here. You have a tear right down the middle. Yoshi did it beautifully. The tear is between the letters, not through the letters, because that would be problematic. What do? Take a look at what Yoshi did here. Sew it up. Beautiful. Mamish. Gewaldig. You sew it up and you're good to go. Today, I'm pretty sure I saw this with my own eyes. If not, you saw it. If you have a little tear and it happens, what do? They put it in the back. They put a piece of, they glue the back with another piece of parchment. But I saw the Rosh says it's okay. His Rebbe says it's not okay. A patch. Mamish a patch. Okay. B'shalosh, what if it's 3 like this? That's already too much. B'shalosh al-yitfa. Omer Rabbi Zuti l'Ravashi, Hachi, Omer Rabbi Yirmiyah v'difta mishmei d'Rabba, Hodar mina b'shalosh al-yitfa. This that we said that with 3 you shouldn't sew. Amor elo batikasa. Only in old ones. Avachadasasa. Listen, but we're not so concerned about the newer parchments because the stronger they'll hold even through 3. This is more like a Zakeli Manveyu kind of halacha, like a lot of the halachas that we saw. So it has to be nice. You can't have a tear and then a patch. So 3, but we're more concerned that it's going to tear more. Says the Gemara, but you didn't understand. It doesn't mean old and new. There's something called golnot. I'm sure Rabbi Schoenberg talks about it in one of his things. This is golnot. Rabbi said, take a look at this. Beautiful. Also something that Yoshi put together. The way golnot works is the wasp comes and injects the egg into a tree. And then that causes the tree, like a response from the tree, that it like makes a cocoon around the egg. Like that's the thing. So, and then they take that and they make ink out of it. They make not ink, they make ink, so here he goes. Flies away, and then a gallnut is produced right there because of this wasp. Mortar. That's for mortar. So it actually makes it darker, and there's 2 pirushim here, but the point is, so either the safitzon makes it stronger that it doesn't tear, or you could say the opposite pshat. Okay, but one is afitzon, one is without afitzon. Just a quick story: the famous ma'isa that happened in Europe, where a guy showed up he found an antique Yerushalmi in Kachim. It was a big find. He found the Yerushalmi and Kachim. And he went around, he wanted to get askamas for it, and he went around to G'daylam, and the Rogatchover said the famous thing, like, it's impossible that it's authentic because every Masechta has a new Tana, and there's no new Tana in this whole Masechta. Different in the Rayas, the Imri Emes, like, kind of tore the page, and he noticed that the outside was like a fitzon. It's like, it looked like it was antique, but when he tore it, he saw inside it was white. The paper was Yeah, because the guy it was a fraud.
He ripped it on purpose.
Yeah. I think that's a little check. You got to check for. He said in English, I'll translate. He says you can't fool a gerer. V'hanamili, talking from a gerer. V'hanamili begidin. You're using the sinews that are very tough and they last. Aval begrodin. You're going to use threads. You can't sew a Sefer Torah with threads. Boy Rabbi Yehuda bar Rabbo, ben daf ledaf, ben shita l'shita. What if it's something like this, Mike? What if here, ben daf ledaf, right over here. It's daf. You see the rip is not where the words are. It's in between. Or you have something like this. It's in between the row, like in between the lines. It's not. What's the halach over there? Teiku. We don't know. The Tur says, Ram says you should. Okay, Teiku. Omer B'ziri, Omer B'chananel, Omer Rav. Says Rav. Mezuzah shksava shtayim kshera raboisai. We have shtayim. It means 2 words per line. Unbelievable. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Yiboyelu. You know, I heard they say this. I think somebody just said. You sent somebody. Yeah, you sent it to me. It's all. I said it in shir once before. It actually works better in English because we call it in America. They call it tzadi. They call it tzaddik. You know, tzaddik. Right? So the shaila is, why is it called a tzadi? Why is it called a tzaddik? The answer is because it carries on its back, it carries a yid. A yud. Yud is a yid. A yidale. So the question is, but aleph also carries a yid. So how come we don't call aleph a tzaddik? The answer is because at the same time that he's carrying the yid, he's also stepping on a yid. And if you're going to carry another yid on the cheshbon of somebody else, that doesn't count for anything. Zog the Gemara. Iboilu, shtayim v'sholish v'achas ma'u. You did something like this. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Shema Yisrael Hashem, Elokeinu Hashem, Echad. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's like Shira. That's what you said, right? It's beautiful. It's like Oz Yashir. Boys, I'm just saying, do not take a picture of this. Do not send this out to anybody, please, because we couldn't get one. It was hard. I told Yoshi you shouldn't bother doing from scratch. Everything you did is scratch. You have it already, but it has Shem Hashem over here. So don't reproduce this. Shasok Shira. So what's the problem? It's great. It looks like Shira. Meisvei, what do you mean it's great? Asok Shira, if you took a regular page in the Sefer Torah and you made it like Oz Yashir, or you took Oz Yashir, or Shira Kamoisi, you took Oz Yashir and you forgot and you wrote it regularly, psula. So what do you mean? You took it and you made 3, 2, 1, it's great. It's not great, it's possible. That's how often in Sefer Torah. We're talking about a mezuzah. Mezuzah is okay. Let's do it again because it's so geschmack. Omar Rabba Barchano, Omar Rabbi Yochanan, V'amri lo Omar Rabbi Acha Barchano, Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Mezuzah shasol shtayim v'sholish v'achas kshera. If you do 2, 3, 1, it's kosher. Uvavachla yisenik kuva. Here we go. Here's a kuva. Uvavachla yisenik zanav. Zanav is the one on the left. It shouldn't look like this. Oh, Rabbi say if you just came for this, if you just you all saw mezuzahs before in your life, and you're always wondering why does it say ala aretz all the way in the last line all by itself, and it's designed like that on purpose. Here we go. This is what it looks like today. Why? So now we know why. If you missed today's daf, you'd have to wait another 7.5 years to figure it out. Ala aretz b'shita achroin is on the last line. Ikadamri b'soif shita. Some say. Omer Rav Chisda ala aretz b'shita achroin. Ikadamri b'soif shita. Ikadamri b'tchila shita. Either it looked like this, ala aretz at the end, or what we do today like this. Mandor b'soif shita. Those who say it was at the end of the line. Kigvoya shomayim ala aretz. Want to say it's like a bracha. You should live a long life like. Shemaim is on top of Aretz. I told him to do it in red here. Mamish, you can see Gevaldik. Shemaim is on top of Aretz. And Manda Omar B'tchila Shita, What's the point of Tchila Shita? So over here, it's the distance, like very far between Shomayim and Oretz. Ki heichedim rachi Shomayim ve'oretz, Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.